Welcome to Home Story with Veronica. I'm Veronica, and today we're diving into the people, places, and decisions that make a house a home. You're watching Now Media Television. Welcome to Home Story with Veronica, where real estate meets real life and where every decision we make about a home carries emotion, timing, and long-term impact. I'm Veronica, your host, and today I'm getting into one of the most talked about phrases in real estate. The cash offer. I'm sure you've heard cash is king. People hear these words and immediately assume that it means easy, fast, and guaranteed. But in real life, cash can mean different things depending on the buyer, the timeline, and the terms hidden behind the headline. I am joined today by my wonderful friend, Dereck Blanton with the Redbud Group.
Hey, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Yeah. And he is a Charlotte area real estate professional whose public profile and client reviews highlight deep experience helping sellers evaluate cash sale options versus traditional market strategies. This is the perfect conversation for anyone trying to figure out whether cash really means better or whether it simply means different. So we're going to open up by grounding the audience in the basics. I want you, our viewers, to understand that a cash offer removes the financing contingency, but it does not remove the need for verification, smart contract review, and a clear understanding of what the buyer is really promising. We're going to set up the idea that convenience, certainty, and price do not always move in the same direction. So Dereck, here's our first question.
All right.
First question to you. When we hear the phrase cash offer, what does that actually mean in a real estate transaction?
So simply put, a cash offer means that we are not having to worry about appraisals. We are not having to worry about any financing contingencies that may come up. The misconception is that the person who's doing the cash offer is going to come walking in with bags of cash.
Right.
That's not going to happen. Right.
And, yep.
A lot of the cash offers, the people are literally using a credit line. Okay. So they are using credit, but they're using a credit line that they do not have to go out and get approval for each transaction because they're approved for a certain amount.
Okay.
So they could have a $15 million credit line, a $20 million credit line, and they have all of those funds available. So if they have $15 million of their $15 million credit line available, they can go buy pretty much whatever they want.
Okay.
So that's kind of where a lot of those guys operate. Very rarely do the people in the cash world have a checking account where they have $100 million sitting in the checking account.
Yep.
They may have a $100 million credit line that they're able to pull that money out of. But it is, what it does is it's just the cash offer removes that appraisal contingency and that financing contingency.
Right. There's not a lender waiting to say, yes, we approve you. Mm-hmm. It's actually a credit line that they can use the money.
Yeah.
Period.
And they set their rules and their parameters for the houses that they purchase.
Okay. All right. Now, why do sellers usually feel more comfortable when they hear a buyer is offering cash and paying cash?
Because they know that they're not going to have that appraisal contingency or those financing.
Can you elaborate that? So maybe some of our viewers don't understand what the appraisal
So if let's say you come to me, you're representing a buyer and you're saying, okay, we're going to be doing a conventional loan or an FHA loan or whatever, but we're getting a loan from the bank for $300,000 of the $400,000 that we're offering you on the home. The bank is going to send an appraiser out to make sure that the value of the home, and when I say value, understand that's appraiser term.
Yes.
We as realtors we can't set value. We're not, unless we're a licensed appraiser. But they're the ones that are going to set the value for that home so that the bank knows that, hey, if we have to come in and step in and do something with bringing this home back into our ownership, that there's value there for us to turn around and sell it and get our money back.
Exactly.
So that's what the appraisal contingency means. And the financing contingency, again, what that takes away is the bank doing the underwriting to make sure the person that's buying the house is financially capable and eligible for purchasing that home.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with the cash offers, that contingency goes away as well. So it takes some of the issues that can arise in a transaction and removes them from the equation.
Exactly. Okay. That was beautifully explained. I love it. Does a cash offer automatically mean no inspections and no contingencies at all?
No.
Okay. Explain, please.
Okay. Majority of the cash buyers are still going to do an inspection at some point. You have some that will do that inspection prior to giving you the offer. So they know going in what they're going to be asking for, or, hey, you know what, we're good with it the way it is. Others are going to do that inspection after you sign the contract. So you can sign a contract, and just like you do with a regular buyer that's out there doing their financing, that company or that cash buyer is going to come in and inspect the home to make sure that there's nothing there that they have not been told.
Exactly. Okay.
Most cash buyers, they're going to make the offer based off of photos, videos, things like that we do as the seller or representing the seller, and we submit it to these cash guys. They're going to base their offer off of those photos and pictures.
Okay.
What they have learned from experience is they need to go in and make sure that the photos they're being sent are actually valid. Believe it or not, we had agents, 8, 9, 10 years ago that would hide the problems.
Oh, wow.
So in other words, they would take pictures of all the great parts of the house,
and
but not the stuff that needed to be taken care of and repaired.
Okay.
So these companies would come in and buy this house without doing an inspection or without laying eyes on it, and come in after they bought the house and find out, okay, we got about another $10,000 worth of work.
Once you buy the house,
it's your house.
You cannot go back and negotiate.
So what a lot of companies are doing now is actually going in and doing the inspection prior to the offer.
Okay.
And it's a simple, person's going to walk through, lay eyes on the main things that they're concerned
about. Right, not a
about.
full-blown inspection, but somebody actually walking through. Okay.
Yeah. Now, some companies will go with a full-blown inspector and come in and do a full-blown inspection.
Okay.
Can't stand that, but that's what they do.
Right.
But a majority of them, it's going to be someone that they send out there. It's going to be a 30-minute walkthrough. They're going to just double check and make sure. They're going to go up in the attic, make sure there's no issues there. Yeah. If there's a crawl space, go in the crawl space. They're going to look at the walls. They're going to make sure there's no smells in the house.
Yeah.
Because you can't smell pictures.
Exactly.
So, hey, do we have issues with pet stuff, with pet danders, with pets using the bathroom in the home? Do we have issues with smells from...
Because that all goes into the budget.
Yeah. With smells from smoking, legal and illegal things. All the different things that you can't tell from a picture. They're going to come in and do a quick walkthrough. So, yes, you are going to have an inspection at some point. So, when you hear people advertising, no inspections, no this, no that, it's not really true.
I mean, the buyer always has the right to do an inspection.
Mm-hmm.
But the seller cannot tell the buyer, no, you cannot inspect the house.
Yeah. And the seller has the right, even if that inspection is done under contract or after contract with a cash buyer, and the cash buyer comes back and says, well, we want this, 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 the seller has the right to not agree.
Exactly.
So, or I prefer the ones who do it prior to the offer, because when that offer comes in, you know where everything is, you know what it is, and it's just a matter of, okay, we're done. Let's get closed.
Yes. Okay. Now, is a cash offer always the strongest offer, or are there situations where finance terms can actually work better than a cash offer?
I tell people this all the time when I sit down with them. You are not going to make as much money with the cash offer pre-market than you are going on the market.
Yep.
Okay. I recommend, unless you are a distressed seller or a distressed property, we always, if we can, hit the market, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to make more money.
Right. There's a lot more eyes on the property, a lot more competition, a lot more buyers.
And a lot of these buyers have fees that are part of their process. So typically you're going to make anywhere from 85 to about 93, 94% of what you would make on the open market.
Gotcha. If
you take one of the cash offers. Now, where a cash offer can be stronger is if it's on the market, and then you have someone come in doing a cash offer that's an end use buyer. So it's not an investor.
Right.
You sold your house in New York. You have $800,000. Exactly. You come down here and you're paying me $600,000 cash. That's where a cash offer can really be good and strong.
Yep.
But when you're dealing with the investors or the institutional guys, a lot of times you're going to give up a little bit by taking that cash offer.
Exactly. Because they're looking to make a profit.
Yeah.
So they're always going to lowball it a little bit so that their profit is not...
And it depends on what their end use is for as well. So if they're one of the flippers, and we'll get into at some point about these, but if it's a flipper, they're not going to offer you as much as a buy and hold guy is going to offer you. So, and again, we'll get into those different types later.
Yes. Okay. That is awesome. Now, another question I had is, what proof of funds should I want to see before I take a cash offer?
You need to see something that is drawn on a bank or a financial institution.
Okay.
And you need to see that their name is on it or the name of the people who are purchasing. You need to see a balance. You don't necessarily need to see the account number. That's, so if they have the account number marked out, that's fine. My preference is to get the letter from the financial institution, or if it's an institutional person, the person who has their credit line or their floor plan. I prefer to see a letter from them that tells me, hey, this company has this much money available on their credit line to make this purchase. If it's you as an end use buyer coming in, I'm going to want to see the account as the listing agent that shows you have those funds available and that they are not tied up into something else. I have a hard time when people bring me investment accounts because that money, while it's there, is not 100% liquid. I would prefer to see it be liquid cash that's in an account.
Yeah, because then they have to take it out and they can run into issues of taking the money out.
I would prefer seeing that it's in a money market or it's in a checking account or a savings account.
Accessible,
as an accessible account versus a investment or 401k or things like that.
Okay.
But depending on the situation, again, it's one of those things that we just have to see those proof of funds, sit down with the seller, and make sure what we're seeing is real life.
Well, that's why working with a professional is so important, because like someone like Dereck is going to know what to look for exactly as proof of funds, and not just a screenshot of a balance without a name, without a bank logo, because it can get really tricky. I mean, remember, there's a lot of bad people out there.
Yep.
We protect you from that. Now, coming up, we are going to have another conversation about cash offers. So make sure that you don't go anywhere and tune in. Stories, strategies, and inspiration to help you write your next home chapter. This is Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Veronica Dinkins, and you're watching Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. Let's jump back into today's conversation. Welcome back to Home Story with Veronica. Stay connected to this show and every Now Media TV favorite, live or on demand, anytime you like. Download the free Now Media TV app on Roku or iOS and unlock nonstop bilingual programming in English and Spanish. If you're on the move, catch the podcast version at www.nowmedia.tv. Now, if you've ever wondered whether a fast sale is worth more than chasing the absolute highest price, this is a part of the episode that you need to hear. And if someone in your life is trying to sell under pressure, I would want them watching this too. Dereck is going to help us, and we're going to get into the question that really drives the seller decision. Not just what a cash offer is, but whether it is actually the right move for the person selling a home. Because not always, cash is not always king.
No, it's not.
Definitely not. So we're going to position this segment around the emotional and strategic fork of the road. Some sellers need certainty, some need time, some need the highest possible return. Every seller can have a completely different situation. And we want this part of the episode to help viewers understand that the best offer is not universal. It depends on what problem we are trying to solve in that season of the seller's life. Dereck, who tends to be the strongest candidate for accepting a cash offer?
So I have a question that I ask every person that I talk to. Most people I talk to are because, hey, we want to look at the differences between cash and market.
Yeah.
So I ask this question, and I advise any agent that's listening to this, ask this question. Any seller that's listening to this, answer this question. What is more convenient to you? Or what is more important to you? Time, convenience, or profit?
Okay.
If your answer is time or convenience, then we need to seriously have a discussion about the cash offer.
Okay.
If your answer is profit, we don't even need to waste our time.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Now, where I talk about time and convenience, there's certain things that can go in there. And I said something earlier about a distressed seller or a distressed property.
Yes.
So the time could be, you've got a job transfer coming up and you need to get to Arizona in the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
It could be that, hey, we've been having trouble making our mortgage payment and we're getting ready to face a foreclosure and we have a lot of equity in the home. let's take advantage of some of these cash offers and let's get this done to where we don't have to deal with the foreclosure process. Other could be it's a divorce situation and we just need to get this done or out of the way. The distressed property could be you have a home that has a ton of deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
And that deferred maintenance is going to be something that, number one, you don't have the money to pay for, to put it on the market and get top dollar. Or again, you just don't have the ability to do it. So let's go to one of these cash buyers that's going to accept the house as is.
Yes.
And let's get it sold to them. Let them come in and put that money into it. So those are the people who tend to be a little bit more open and a little bit more in line with what the cash offer is going to be.
Yeah.
I was in a house a couple of weeks ago and the home was spotless, perfect, really great condition. The people did not need to sell their home to move into their new home. They already had their new home purchased. They knew the date they were moving in. And I said several times, are you sure the cash offer is the route you want to go?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we just don't want to deal with having to deal with the showings. And I'm like, but you're not going to be here.
Exactly.
You're going to be in your new home. But they kept insisting, we want to do the cash offer. We want to do the cash offer. So I said, okay, let me go get you a cash offer. We got them the cash offer. They were getting ready to sign the contracts on it. And then they looked and went, well, wait a minute, with these fees, we're doing this and this and we're giving this up. And I went, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
Exactly.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you see why I think you should go on the market versus the cash offer? Yeah, I do. So we went on the market. They went on the market last Friday. We're under contract with multiple offers on Monday.
That's it.
So again, you need to be in the right situation and you need to have that person helping you who understands what your situation is and will help you figure out how to best get through what your needs are.
I 100% agree. I had a seller, a client as well. He unfortunately got diagnosed with an illness and he had to sell the house, but he wasn't in a crazy rush. And he had an investor reach out with a cash offer. And I said, okay, send it to me. I'll look at the terms and I'll help you. If it's a great offer, I will be the first to tell you. And I looked at the offer and oh my gosh, he would have lost like $60,000 or $70,000 in profit. I said, okay, is the profit important to you? He's like, yes, because that's the money I'm going to use.
That's what I'm going to live off of.
That's what I'm going to live off. And I'm like, okay, then let's go on the market. Then that offer does not work. So cash is not always king.
Yeah. It depends on your situation.
It depends on your situation.
Where we're needing, what goal we're trying to achieve. And if a cash offer will help you with the quickness that you need and net you the amount of money that you need, then we're good to go. But I can't stand to see people leave money on the table because they were just adamant of taking a cash offer when the cash offer, there was really no need for them to take.
Yes, I 100% agree. Now, when does speed matter more than squeezing out every last dollar?
Again, we're in a transfer situation.
Yeah.
We're coming up against a foreclosure. We have someone who is just trying, like it could be you're dealing with an estate and all the family is just like, let's just get this done and out of here so we can close the probate and get things moved on. Because sometimes when you're in a probate situation, you can't close that probate until that home sells, right? So it may be set up to where, like I had one client recently who the will stated that the home was to be sold and the proceeds put into the pot, not that someone be given the home and allow them to sell it. So we had to get the home sold before that probate could close. Yeah. And they were trying to get the probate closed before the end of the year so that all the taxes could be done in that year and not have to move into another year for taxes.
Yes.
So
again, it depends on each
your
situation. Yeah. Now, what kind of sellers usually benefit the most from a cash solution?
Again, the distressed seller.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to feel like
we keep going back. No, but it's important.
I hate to feel like I'm saying the same thing over again, but I am saying the same thing over again. It is the distressed seller. If you are not in a distressed sale situation, cash offers to me don't make sense.
Yep.
They are for the people who absolutely positively have got to get things done in a certain time frame to beat some kind of deadline.
Yep.
Or they just cannot do the work on the property that needs to be done to maximize the market.
Yeah.
Right. If you have like years of deferred maintenance and it's going to cost $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to get that house on the market, you may not have that money. You may not have that capability to do it. So at that point, it may make more sense for us to go the cash route, with one of the flipper people who are going to come in and buy the house, fix it up, put it on the market, and sell it.
Exactly.
Now, there are, again, multiple different ways that we can go in cash offers, but that's kind of the one that most people are aware of.
Yeah.
That's your, and I'm going to say that's your open doors, that's your offer pads, that's your, people who come in and purchase that house from you and then turn around and throw it back on the market. Those are the companies that you hear advertising, hey, we'll buy your house from you.
Yeah.
Or we'll get you that guaranteed offer, we'll get you that cash offer up front. Remember, most of those people are going through those open doors and those offer pads. So there's not a company out there that advertises cash offers that actually buys the properties.
Yeah.
Except for OfferPad and Open Door when they do their own advertising.
Yeah.
I advertise, hey, I can get you a cash offer, and I'm going to OfferPad, and I'm going to Open Door, and I'm going to other people that I have access to.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Now, would your answer change regarding a cash offer if you are on the market, you have a seller who is selling a house, and you have 5 offers, and only one of them is cash, but it is actually somebody who wants to live in the house, and the price is comparable with what they're offering with all the other offers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you have to look at what their terms of that offer are.
Yes.
Most of those people who are coming in with cash that, like, let's say you're the individual buyer and you're buying it for end use, you're going to come in and upfront in your offer, you're going to tell us we're cash, we're not doing an appraisal.
Yes.
And they could say, hey, you know what, we're cash, we're not doing an inspection. Now, I'm going to recommend you never purchase a house without an inspection.
Agreed.
Don't do it.
Do not.
It's not a requirement. There's no legal requirement anywhere. A finance company doesn't require it. Cash obviously doesn't require it, but it's something that you need to know when you're purchasing that house.
Yes.
Now, if you have been through the house, you feel comfortable with the house, and you want to make that part of your offer, and sometimes cash people do that.
Absolutely.
They'll tell you,
especially if there's multiple offers. Yep.
We're coming in as is with no appraisal. Now, you tell me that and your due diligence number is good.
Yeah.
I am going to tell my client this overall is probably your best option.
Yes. And quick note, real quick, due diligence in North Carolina is a deposit that doesn't exist in every state that we give directly to the sellers, and the sellers get to keep that money. But continue, please.
But if all the terms of that cash offer, even though it's $10,000 less, it is a 99.9% chance we're going to close on that.
Yeah.
Whereas the offer coming through that has a loan on it, and I'm looking at who the finance company is, and I know that they tend to stall things or fall out or tend to tell buyers right at the end, hey, sorry, you don't qualify. We're going to take those things into account.
Exactly.
We're going to have that conversation with the seller. It's ultimately the seller's choice. It's our job to educate them.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately their choice.
Absolutely.
So we're
here to advise them and guide them.
We're going to advise them, guide them, and support their decision, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, because we're almost on the time that we have to go on a break. What are some of the red flags that should make me slow down before I sign a cash offer?
A ton of addendums.
Okay.
They tend to have a bunch of addendums, the cash buyers. And if you need to read through those addendums and make sure you're not tying yourself up into something or costing yourself money in the long term, or stating things like you automatically agree to their repair request if they come in and give a repair request.
Gotta read everything,
When they present an addendum that is not part of the North Carolina Realtor Association and North Carolina bar drawn paperwork, you need to read through it multiple times.
Okay.
That's where I would say some of your big red flags are. And if they're cash, their proof of funds tend to be a little ambiguous. We need to make sure.
That's a red flag for sure. Okay, now this is the part sellers really need to hear. A good decision is not only about price, it is about the right fit. The right path depends on whether you need convenience, certainty, flexibility, or the chance to maximize exposure. So up next, we are going to walk through the actual cash offer process, because what sounds simple from the outside still has a lot of moving parts once the deal begins. Don't go anywhere. Stories, strategies, and inspiration to help you write your next home chapter. This is Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Veronica Dinkins, and you're watching Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. Let's jump back into today's conversation. Welcome back. All right. One reason cash offers create so much confusion is that people assume cash means instant and effortless. But there can still be inspections, negotiations, credits, timelines, and contract terms that matter a lot. I'm still here with my wonderful friend, Dereck Blanton. And I want to break down the process step by step so that sellers understand what happens after the initial offer lands. So we're going to use this segment to make the process feel visible and manageable. And this is where we're going to take the audience behind the curtain. What information gets submitted when inspections happen, where the offer can shift, and what a seller could ask before committing to an offer. I want you, our viewers, leaving this segment with less fear and more control. Dereck, what information do we usually need to provide if I want to request a cash offer?
So it depends on what kind of cash offer we're going for.
Yes. Okay? All right.
And
Please
I
explain.
think at some point we're going to go through some of those. So
Yes.
I think that's next segment. So I'll kind of.
But you can jump in.
Kind of jump in a little bit. Okay.
If it fits
So-
you, let's do it.
When you're talking about cash offers, is it going to be a straight cash offer from someone who is buying the home who is a distressed home?
Okay.
Is it someone that is a straight cash offer who is buying the home because it's a distressed seller?
Okay.
Is it the hybrid cash offer, which is where you kind
Combination
of
of both?
combine the two? Is it a on-market cash offer that is coming from someone that's going to be the end user? Or is it a cash offer from one of the companies who is going to take the home and rent it?
Okay.
So those are the people who are the buy and hold
Okay.
type groups. So every one of them has different scenarios and standards, but the main common ones are we're going to have to give them some comps for the area. So that's something that
And comps are?
comparable properties.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not supposed to use
I
that
know.
realtor lingo. That's where I, as the person who's representing you going out to get these cash offers, and real quick, have someone representing you when you go do these cash
Yes.
offers.
Please.
Because-
people will take advantage of you.
The cash company they don't give a flip about you. They're there to represent themselves.
Yes.
And they will run all over you every chance they get.
Yes.
So have that agent helping you that can walk you through this process. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to give them comparables for the properties to justify this is the pricing we would like to see.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to them and tell them this is what we would like to see the offer at. Not, hey, what you got?
Right.
We're also
We come from a solid.
we come from a solid base. I submit
yes.
to them legitimate comparables, just like I would with you if I'm sitting down across from your table and we're preparing for the market.
Yeah.
We're going to have to send them photos of the property. So that's going to be going in and taking 2 or 3 pictures of every room in the house. We're going to take pictures of the air conditioning system, the label. We're going to take pictures of the water heater, the label. We're going to take pictures of the
Why is the
electrical
label
box.
important?
Because the label has the information on there that helps that buyer understand how old that unit
Yes.
is. One of the things that people say, and I've seen people have issues with this, oh, it's got a brand new HVAC, right? And the HVAC may have been recently installed, but it could have sat in a warehouse for 2 years. So it was manufactured in 2023, but installed in 2025.
Yeah.
The cash buyer is going to go off that creation date, like when that thing was built.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons they're wanting to see that. We're going to take pictures of the electrical panel. We're going to take pictures of the roof. We're going to take pictures of the outside of the property, foundation, all of that stuff. And our goal is to send that to them so that they can give a good picture. Some of the groups are going to require a video. They're going to want us to do a video of the property, a walkthrough video. Again, those are the ones who typically are going to give you that offer without an inspection.
Right.
They're just wanting to see a walkthrough of the house, how it flows,
Yep.
things like that. So that's the main thing. And then we're going to submit all of that into those cash offer people on their different portals.
Okay.
And then they're going to turn around and they're going to generate an offer and send it back out to us.
Okay. So behind the scenes, because we're talking behind the scenes, did you hear to everything that we're doing to help the sellers find a great cash offer? It's not just, hey, what would you give me for this house?
Yeah. We are basically doing that buyer's job of the initial due diligence
Yeah.
to show them the property to turn around and get the best offer that we can.
Yes. And what kind of, besides the companies, and please mention them again, but what kind of buyers are you contacting to get a cash offer?
So I am talking to institutional investors.
Yeah.
These are the people who own the 300, 400, 500 houses. I am talking to local investors that may only own 30, 40 houses. I am talking to local investors who may be in more of the flip process where we're going to come in and flip it and turn around and sell it. Or it could be that they're going to purchase the house and then they have people that they work with that they're going to sell the house to. So it's kind of a wholesale, but not wholesale.
Right.
They are actually usually people who are licensed agents as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't even want to get into wholesaling. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you have a wholesaler coming to you wanting to give you an offer on your property,
God, talk to somebody else.
Shut the door.
Talk to somebody else.
Yeah. So these are the type of people that are coming in and buying these homes. A majority of them are going to be the larger institutional guys.
Okay.
They're the ones who have the $100 million floor plans.
Exactly.
$100 million credit lines.
Yeah.
Who tend to be a little bit more open with their money than the local guy who is like, hey, I need to buy this at 60, 70 cents on the dollar.
Exactly. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Can the original cash offer change after the inspection period?
Yes.
Okay. Please elaborate.
Now, for the companies that do not do the inspection prior to the offer, they're going to come in and do their inspection, and then they're going to turn around and say, hey, I need this credit. I need a credit for this. I need a credit for that. Or they're going to simply say, hey, instead of us offering you $320,000 for the house, we're going to offer you $310,000.
Yeah.
Right. Or they're going to say, hey, you know what? We came in and we did our due diligence. We took a look at things, and all of a sudden this house doesn't fit our box anymore, and they may terminate.
Yeah.
Right. So you could have that happen as well. Those companies, most of the ones that tend to do that, frequently, I tend to not bring offers.
Yes.
Because I know what they're going to do. And usually their offers are not as good to begin with as the other guys are.
Another reason why you work with a professional, because we're already familiar with the companies and what they do, and being unrepresented in that world can be detrimental.
So to give you an example of why it's important to be represented, when COVID happened, Open Door terminated every offer that they had and contract that they had, except for the ones who had an agent.
Oh, wow.
So if you were unrepresented and you were going with Open Door, they terminated when COVID hit. If you had an agent that was representing you, they kept that going and went ahead and bought that house.
That is insane. Okay, get an agent. Now, what kind of repair credits or adjustments should we expect to see in this kind of deals?
So the big thing now has been the cleaning fee. Most companies are going to hit you with a cleaning credit.
Okay.
And depending on who it is, it's going to range anywhere from $1,200 to one company out there is charging you $2,500 per animal that you have in your house.
Oh, wow.
So if you have 3 dogs, you're getting charged $7,500 because they're going in and cleaning the ducts and doing all the other stuff, when in reality, they're not even touching that stuff. But that's just a way for them to kind of make some money on the side. They're bringing that price down. If it is a safety or a health issue with some of the companies, that's what they're going to ask for.
Okay.
Now, there are other companies that are some of the hybrid guys. They're going to come in and they're going to ask for some different credits that have to do with cosmetic stuff and aesthetic stuff, because their goal, they're going to be putting that house back on the market and selling it and giving you the profit. Yeah. And they don't want to hold on to the house for that long when they're not taking the profit off the back end.
That makes sense.
So they could come in and say, hey, we need $2,000 to put new carpet in the house. Or they could do what's called a contingency credit, where they say, hey, we're going to hold back $4,000 because we think the roof has some issues. But if no one asks for those credits on the roof when we sell it on the open market, we're going to give you that $4,000 back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So again, different scenario based on what the type of buyer is you're working with and where it's going on the back end. The front end guys who are buying the house, coming in, doing the work, throwing it back on the market and keeping the profit, those are the ones that tend to ask for a little bit more money.
Yeah.
The hybrid guys, they want to make sure the home, they're not really in it for the distressed homes.
Right.
They're in it more for the distressed seller
Okay.
and non-distressed homes.
Okay.
They don't want to ask for a lot,
Gotcha.
but they will
Okay.
if they need to. And if there's too much work that needs to be done, they will say, hey, we're not buying the house.
Gotcha. Now, if people want to get a hold of you and they want to work with you and they need some help with their property, they're thinking about wanting to get a cash offer, or if they just want to be informed about this and work with you in any real estate related transaction, how can they get a hold of you? How can they follow you?
Okay, so I have a YouTube series that I do called Dereck Talks Real Estate.
It's amazing.
Go on youtube.com and search up Dereck Talks Real Estate and subscribe. It is relatively new, so when you see the low number of subscribers, help me build that up.
Yes. Like him,
I
subscribe, follow, do all the things.
I have my Facebook page, Dereck Talks Real Estate.
So Dereck Talks Real Estate. Okay.
And then Substack, I have been doing this since the first of the year. I have a written blog that I put on Substack.
Which is fantastic as well.
And it again is called Dereck Talks Real Estate.
Do you see a theme here?
Yeah.
Dereck Talks Real Estate.
Branding it. You can email me at DereckTalksRealEstate at gmail.com.
That's easy to remember.
And Dereck is D-E-R-E-K, by the way.
D-R-E-K. We're going to have it on the screen for you.
And then you can also reach me. I am, as again, part of Keller Williams South Park Redbud Group. Veronica and I are on that together. You can reach me at Dereck.Blanton at redbudgroup.com. Or you can text me at 704-610-1154.
Say that again.
704-610-1154. And I stress text me. Because
calling, yes, nowadays.
Calling, I may or may not answer.
Yes.
But if you text me, I can text you right back and say, hey, I'm in an appointment, or hey, I'm in this. I'll call you at so-and-so. And when you do text me, please tell me your name and how you heard of me.
Yes.
You know, as a realtor, we get a lot of texts that are very ambiguous.
We want to make sure we get back to you. Yes.
And they're just like, hey, you free to talk?
Yep.
I don't know who you are.
So text him. We have to go on a break, but we're going to be right back. Stories, strategies, and inspiration to help you write your next home chapter. This is Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Veronica Dinkins, and you're watching Home Story with Veronica on Now Media Television. Let's jump back into today's conversation. Welcome back to Home Story with Veronica. Stay connected to the show and every Now Media TV favorite, live or on demand, anytime you like. You can download the free Now Media TV app on Roku or iOS and unlock non-stop bilingual programming in English and Spanish. If you're on the move, catch the podcast version at nowmedia.tv. Now, this is where the conversation gets especially useful because for a lot of homeowners, the question is not just how to sell, is how to sell smart while setting up the next chapter well. If you are trying to move up, unlock equity, or decide what to do with a rental, this segment is for you. I am here with Dereck Blanton, and before we end the show, I want to cover the options that sit between a straight cash deal and a traditional listing. And then we're doing a quick lightning round because real estate is serious, but nobody needs to leave this episode emotionally attached to a closing disclosure.
Oh, yeah.
So let's close the strategy portion by showing viewers that the sale of one home can connect to the purchase of the next and what the sellers do not always have to choose between all cash, certainty, and full market exposure in a simple either-or way. Then we're going to shift into a short, fun lightning round, like I mentioned. Now, Dereck, what is a hybrid cash offer and how is it different from a straight cash offer?
Okay, so succinctly as possible, because I could talk about this for an hour.
Okay.
Hybrid
I wish
cash,
we had an hour.
I know, right? Hybrid cash offer is where someone is going to come in and purchase the home from you for a percentage of what the value of the home is.
Okay.
Okay. So most of them use 84%.
84%.
Don't know why they came up with that number, but that's where they land.
Okay.
So in other words, if you have a $500,000 house, they're going to give you 84% of that $500,000.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what they're going to do is out of that, they're going to pay off your mortgage.
Okay.
And then you're going to take the equity, there's the difference between 84% and what your mortgage balance is, and minus their fee.
Okay.
And then you're going to be able to take that cash and go buy your house.
Okay.
All right. Now, when you move into your new house, they're then going to turn around and take your old house and they're going to put it on the market. Now, remember, they own the house at that point. They have purchased it from you.
But you already have another house.
But you already have another house.
Okay.
So you're not having to worry about taxes, insurance, utilities, all that kind of stuff. They put the house on the market for you, but you lose control of what they sell it for. Right? So they will turn around, and if it's on the market at $500,000, they sell it for $500,000. They take out the commission that is due agents at that point. They don't do the agent commission until they sell it because you don't know what the house sells for. So how can you pay agent commission when you don't know how much the house is going to sell for? And then they're going to give you the difference. So I'm going to use 80% instead of 84% for math
it's easier
purposes.
For math,
So a $500,000 house, they've given you $400,000 up front. You owed $300,000 on the house. They have their fee off the five, so they give you $75,000, $80,000 up front.
Okay.
You take that $75,000, $80,000, you take it and go put whatever you want to of it down on your new home.
Okay.
You're not contingent.
Right.
You're not having to worry about selling the house, so it makes you a more attractive buyer.
And it's easier. Yeah.
But again, they pay your mortgage off. They take over ownership of the home. You don't have to worry about anything.
Okay.
They put the house on the market. They sell it for $500,000. If we're at 6% commission, that's $30,000.
Right.
So 470 minus 400, you're going to get a check for around $70,000 when that home sells.
Okay.
The difference between those guys and the straight cash offer is they may use the same scenario, but when they turn around and sell the house on the open market, they're taking that profit and putting it in their pocket.
Right.
Whereas the hybrid guys are taking that profit and they're giving it back to you.
Okay.
Okay. So you get two checks.
Okay.
So that's why I tend to call it a hybrid. Now, another way of doing something similar, and that's what we call sell before you buy. Okay. We have buy before you sell. Okay. So with that, you're doing basically a program where, again, they're going to give you up to 80 to 84% of the equity of your home. Okay. They're going to pay off your mortgage, but you still own the house. Okay. Okay. The difference is you don't have to worry about a mortgage payment. Right. And you still control the pricing. Now, they're going to give you 90 days to sell the house. If you don't sell the house in 90 days, 99% of these groups will extend it.
So the seller puts the house on the market, it's himself or herself? Okay.
Yes, with me as the agent or you as the agent or whoever their agent is they're using. And when the house sells, you pay them back that advance that they gave you. Okay. So this is what I like to call a bridge loan on steroids. Okay. So number one, they're basically giving you a bridge loan, but there's zero payment. So therefore, doesn't go against your debt to income ratio. Right. There's zero mortgage left, so it doesn't go against making you contingent on anything. But it allows you to control the process. Now, the difference is you still are having to pay your utilities on the property. Right, because it's still yours, yeah. Yeah, any upkeep on the property, any maintenance on the property, insurance, et cetera, et cetera. When we turn around and sell the house and you and I control the sales number as the seller. Right. So we control that number when we make price improvements, when we do what we need to do. And then when it sells, you pay them back what they advanced you. Okay. And then you pay the commission and then you keep the rest in your pocket just like you would a normal sale. Okay. So that one gives you more control over the process, but you are on more of a strict timeline. Yeah. And you said it was 90 days and they can do an extension? Yeah, typically it's 90 days. Then you can do an extension for 3 months. If you haven't sold after 6 months, they do have ways to extend it further. Okay. I'm sure it costs them something. It costs money. Yeah. Or they can purchase it from you for that advance number. And they will keep it on the market. No, when they sell it, they'll still give you any money over what the advance was. Okay. But you're paying more fees. You're paying holding fees. Right. So that's being sucked out of the profit. Okay. 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 Now, those programs are great for people who need to move quickly, but they don't want to give up the profit. Gotcha. Right? So yes, you're going to, again, make a little less money than you would on the open market, but it helps you. If you have to sell your home, or you cannot have two mortgages at one time, that takes that contingency away. Yeah. Now there's new programs that are coming out that I'm working with some people on now that I'm like, okay, these are completely different. Okay. But it's called a contingency remover program. Okay. So what they do is they're not loaning you any money. They're not buying you out. They're not paying off your mortgage. What they're doing is they're giving you a contract that shows you as being under contract. So you can then go purchase a home without your debt to income ratio being affected by the mortgage you have on property A. And they're charging anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 is all their fee is.
Okay.
Those, and I'm in the process right now of working one of those for the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how it's going to
Yeah,
happen.
absolutely.
But it seems on the level to really be one of those things where if you can afford for 2 or 3 months to have multiple mortgages,
Yeah.
this allows you to get rid of that contingency. Or if you don't need to pay your mortgage off to be approved,
Yeah.
but just have a contract, then that's where you can turn around and use this new programs that are coming out.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you understood that. And if you didn't, make sure to reach out to Dereck at Dereck Talks Real Estate.
Yep.
Anything, website, Gmail, anything, you'll find him. Because this is very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of viewers are going to be interested in having that conversation.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, and if you're Veronica's your agent and you want to use Veronica as your agent, I will come sit down with you and Veronica and explain the process. I do that with agents on our team all the time.
Awesome.
I will literally go in and sit down with them and their agent and explain how the process works. If they decide to go one of the cash routes, I step in and I handle it.
Yeah.
If they don't want to go one of the cash routes, then they at least understand and know.
Exactly. It's
And
better to
then
be
they can-
informed and make an informed decision, you know, with all of your options on the table, and then figure out what's best for you.
Yeah.
Really, because this is all about you and what's best for you, not what's best for us.
Yeah. Any agent that is worth their weight is always focused on what is best for the seller,
Yes.
not what is best for the agent.
Exactly.
It's not our house. It's not our life. We're there to guide and help people and educate people through the process.
Absolutely. Now, when should we seriously consider a buy before you sell program? In what situations?
So let's say you know that you need to sell your house before you can buy something.
Okay.
This would be a great program for you to use, one of the buy before you sells, because
Okay.
it allows you to control the process versus the process controlling you.
Yeah.
You can shop for your home with comfort, knowing that, hey, I've got this sitting back here,
Yeah.
and you're not feeling rushed to buy a house. Let's say you go on the market and you sell the house and you're closing in 45 days. All of a sudden, you're like, crap, I got to go find a house.
Yeah.
And you may put an offer in on a house that you don't want. You may put an offer on a house that doesn't have everything that you want or need. So if you're using one of these,
And it's stressful.
if you're using one of these buy before you sell programs, it gives you that freedom and flexibility to go buy the house you want, because you're not
You're in a rush.
pulling that trigger until you are under contract on your new house.
That makes sense.
We get you approved for it. We know you're approved for it, but you don't pull the trigger on that process until you find your
Until you find the
house.
one that you actually want, not rushed.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you're building.
Yeah, if you're building, that's a whole
lot of
different story.
builders do not like contingent offers.
Yes.
So therefore, you can go through one of these processes, or you can do the contingency takeaway. That's where I'm talking to the person right now. Is they're going to be using a builder. You can go through that process and take that contingency off, so that builder is going to
and it won't be an issue. Yeah.
is going to be more comfortable putting you under contract.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to go to lightning round right now because we are almost out of time. So, cash offer or highest offer?
What was that?
Cash offer or highest offer?
Depends.
It depends. That's the right answer right there. Fast closing or more money?
Again, depends.
It depends. Inspection or no inspection?
There's always going to be an inspection.
Inspection. Zillow says or my neighbor sold for?
Neither. This is where the comps tell us your home should be.
Yes. Moving ready or has potential?
Again, depends on the person.
Perfect house or perfect price?
There's no such thing as a perfect house.
Great answer. Is there such thing as a perfect price? You
I
never know.
guess not really, but you know.
Seller drama or buyer drama?
I list houses mostly, so I prefer the seller drama. That's what I'm used to.
Seller drama.
Buyer drama, you tend to have people come on inspections with them, like mothers.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that. We are done with the show. This was so informative. Thank you so much, Dereck, for coming to the show.
Thanks for
This was
having
absolutely
me.
amazing. And get a hold of Dereck. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
That went by fast.
That did that. I'm telling you.